Now, HP recently announced the HP Envy 15, and there was a lot of anticipation with it, especially for what it can offer at a good price. So a couple of weeks ago, I took delivery of it, and I've been putting it through its paces ever since. Now, this is a laptop that HP claims is geared toward the content creator, and me being a content creator, I wanted to see how it would perform. And it actually performed pretty nicely. Now, there's a lot to like about this laptop with its all-metal premium design, a 4K AMOLED display, and a nice beefy GPU in there, the RTX 2060 with Max-Q design. And it even employs vapor chamber cooling, similar to what we saw with the Dell XPS 17 and the Dell Precision 5750. That all can equal a great laptop. So I couldn't wait to get it into the studio, put it through its paces, and bring you this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the HP Envy 15, all new for 2020. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell? This way you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. And make sure you follow me on my social media, especially Twitter and Instagram. It's on those platforms I'll post updates. And today's video is brought to you by all the members who contributed this month to the channel. If you want to become a member, why not hit that join button below? And why not check out my new Discord server? It's a great place for us to hang out and talk tech. Link will be in the description below. And in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by HP, I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no one is seeing this video before its release. This review unit was provided by HP, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, one of the things that makes this really attractive, especially towards the content creator, is its price. You can pick this up over at HP.com for about $1,500 for the SKU that they sent me. And I gotta say, that's a pretty good deal considering the horsepower this has under the hood, the kind of display that it has, an AMOLED display. And you don't normally see that at a $14.99 price point. I'll put the link below for more information and where you can buy it. Now, holding the unit for the first time to me shows it's a really premium device, a pretty stylish device as you will see. It really is a very nice high-end device with its all-metal design. And as I mentioned in the unboxing video, it's not the lightest laptop at 4.74 pounds or 2.13 kilograms, but it's certainly portable enough for you to take with you on the go. Now here it is next to the Dell XPS 15. As you can see, the Dell XPS 15 is a little bit smaller in terms of the footprint, although not that much smaller as you can see here. Now, one difference between the two, of course, is the Dell has a 16:10 aspect ratio, whereas the HP Envy has a 16:9 aspect ratio. Now here it is next to the Dell XPS 17, a little bit bigger, of course, since that is a 17-inch laptop. Again, the Dell has a 16:10, whereas the HP has a 16:9 aspect ratio. And here it is with the Spectre X360 15T, which has certainly a smaller footprint than the Envy 15. And finally, here it is with the HP Envy X360 15-inch laptop, which certainly has a very similar footprint to this HP Envy 15, as you can see here. Now, I went over the ports in my unboxing video, but for those that didn't see it, on the left side, you get your power port, a USB-A port, an HDMI port, and two Thunderbolt 3 ports that do data and display out. Unfortunately, they don't do charge via USB-C, so you cannot use a USB-C charger, a negative in my book. Moving over to the right side is a USB-A port, a 3.5mm audio jack, and a micro SD card reader. Now, unfortunately, it's not a full-size SD card reader, even though I thought they did have the space to put one in there, and especially since this is geared toward the content creator, I think that is a little bit of a negative in my book once again. Now, I also opened this laptop up in my unboxing video, and kudos to HP for making it really easy. So for those that didn't see it, all you need to do is remove the screws there and pop off the bottom plate. No needing to remove any rubber feet or any rubber strips. That's pretty good. Now, once inside, you'll notice there are two slots for RAM that is user upgradable, which is great. And there are two M.2 slots for SSDs. So you can put two SSDs in this, which I really like. Now, the included SSD does give you good reads and writes, as you can see from these results. As far as wireless is concerned, it has a Wi-Fi 6 with a Bluetooth 5 combo. It's soldered into the motherboard, so it's not user upgradable, but you do get some really good uploads, downloads, and it has good range in both the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. Now, there are two speakers located on the bottom, as you see here. They're audio by Bang & Olufsen. They're dual speakers. And there is two speaker grills on the top, one on each side of the keyboard. Now, the question is there any sound coming out of it? And as I mentioned on a recent live stream, there is no sound coming out of it. So I don't know if this was just an aesthetic design that they decided to put dummy speaker grills there, or whether or not they intended to have quad speakers on this, but just decided later on, let's keep it to two speakers. I'm not really sure. I'll reach out to HP to ask them. But nonetheless, I think the sound is okay, although I wish the volume was a little bit louder. Let's give it a listen. If you watch my channel, you know I love the 2-in-1 category, and at the forefront, of course, is Microsoft and its Surface line. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the all-new Microsoft Surface Pro 7. Coming up. Now, for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger. Now, as far as the keyboard is concerned, really comfortable to type on, good tactile feedback, good key travel, and I like the fact that it does have a multi-stage backlight. This allows you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. Now, it does have white keys, so some people may not like that, but it does light up pretty bright, so it worked really well. Now, it also has a precision touchpad, a nice precision touchpad, a glass touchpad that has really good responsiveness. Two-finger scrolling is buttery smooth, and all the Windows 10 gestures work as advertised. HP is gearing this laptop toward the content creator. So what does that mean? It means you're going to need a really nice display, and they really deliver here. It's a UHD resolution that's a 3840 by 2160. It's also an AMOLED display, so you're going to get those really deep blacks, the really vibrant colors that just seem to pop off the display. Now, it really covers the color gamut extremely well. 100% sRGB, 95% Adobe RGB, 98% of the P3 wide color gamut, and 92% NTSC. What this translates into is an excellent choice for content creator to do Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. You're looking at slim side bezels or slim top bezel, but you will notice that pronounced chin on the bottom. And it has a touch display. I like being able to use my finger to navigate through the OS. Now, one thing you'll notice, it is a glossy display. You will notice the glare and reflection, something to keep in mind, especially if you're outdoors. HP claims this display will get up to 400 nits. I actually measured 405, even better. So that's good. So it's not going to be too much of an issue despite it being a glossy display. So if you want to use this outdoors, it's possible. Now, if you look closely, you will see a little bit of a mesh layer that has been a complaint of some people with this laptop and other types of laptops that use an AMOLED display. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. It doesn't really bother me. I think this is a very sharp, excellent display. So again, it might bother some people. But if you're a content creator, this is an excellent choice as far as the display is concerned. So this is the front-facing camera on the HP Envy 15, all new for 2020. And I got to say, very impressed with this edition, this creator edition. It's actually really, really good. Good specs, good build quality, 720p, 30 frames per second webcam. I think it's okay. Not the best I've ever seen, certainly not the worst, certainly adequate to do Skype or Zoom or any kind of work from your home needs. This will get the job done. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. And I love that there's dedicated keys to turn off the microphones and the camera in this laptop. Now, it does have a fingerprint scanner. It's located on the keyboard, as you see here, and it worked well, registering my finger each and every time I used it. Great for Windows Hello login as well. Now, performance is actually really good on this. It has the Intel Core i7-10750H, a 6-core processor, 10th gen from Intel, of course. It's also got the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 with Max-Q design, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. And as you can see from these numbers, it actually did well. Things like video editing, things like Microsoft Office, email, and web browsing all worked well. Now, speaking of that video editing, 4K video editing did well. When I did my video rendering test at 2-minute ProRes 422 4K clip, it actually worked, rendering it in a pretty short amount of time. Now, when it comes to gaming, you could also game on this laptop, even though it's really not a dedicated gaming laptop. I found the sweet spot to be the high settings, 1080p, Fortnite, The Witcher 3, Dota 2 Reborn, Final Fantasy, X-Plane, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, GTA 5, and more all had playable frame rates. And just like the Dell XPS 17 and the Dell Precision 5750 that we took a look at, this employs vapor chamber cooling. And it actually worked pretty well in terms of cooling this laptop. Now, what I did notice is the fans will kick in quite a bit on this laptop. It didn't matter which thermal profile it was on, you would hear the fans. It's not terribly annoying or too loud, but you will notice them. Now, as far as thermals are concerned, when I ran my stress test on HP performance mode, the CPU would boost to 4.2 gigahertz with the fans kicking in to gear once the core temperature reached about 85 degrees Celsius. It eventually stabilized at 4 gigahertz to about 4.1 gigahertz and the core temperature of about 86 degrees. Now, if you're running the same test on the HP default mode, the CPU would stabilize at a much lower 2.1 gigahertz clock rate and a 61 degree core temperature. Now, the performance differences between the HP profiles are therefore significant if you're running high processing loads. Now, what's pretty interesting, under really extreme loads, what I noticed is it's not that much different than a MacBook Pro 16, even though the MacBook Pro 16 uses a slower Radeon GPU. When I ran my extreme stress test, it would stabilize at 88 degrees Celsius and 71 degrees Celsius, respectively, between the CPU and the GPU. That's compared to the 78 degrees Celsius and 79 degrees Celsius you'd find on the Apple MacBook Pro. Pretty interesting stuff. The HP Envy 15 sports a 6-cell 83 watt-hour battery. It did 6 hours and 3 minutes on my continuous web surfing test, which is below average in terms of its competition, and that's because it has that AMOLED display, which of course uses more power. Now, it does have a 200-watt power adapter that it comes with, a pretty beefy power adapter, I must say, but it does charge the laptop pretty quick, under 2 hours, which is pretty good, although you cannot charge this laptop with those Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports, so you can't use a USB-C charger, which is a negative in my book. Okay, let's wrap it all up. Can I recommend the HP Envy 15 here for 2020? And the answer is a definite yes, because I like its price at $14.99. You're getting a lot for your money. You're getting a bright, vibrant 4K UHD AMOLED display, a touch display. You're getting that premium build with that minimalist design. It's a really premium look. I like that. RTX 2060 with Max-Q design. You're getting that vapor chamber cooling. You're getting dedicated camera and mic mute buttons. I really like that, especially when you're working from home. You get that easily upgradable SSDs, and the RAM on this, I really like the fact that you can get inside pretty easily. It's got an excellent keyboard, a really nice precision touchpad, a good array of ports, although the Thunderbolt 3 ports are crippled on this in the sense you cannot use USB-C chargers with this, which is of course a negative. So it's got a thick bottom bezel. The speakers could be louder, and there are two dummy grills on the top, which I wish really had speakers in them to give us quad speakers. Unfortunately, we only get 2 speakers on this. And of course, there's no full-size SD card slot, even though this is geared toward the content creator. Instead, we get a micro SD card reader, not a deal breaker, but something I would have liked to have seen. But if you can live without USB-C charging on this device or a full-size SD card reader, then this might be your ticket as far as the content creator, as far as a video editing machine, because this comes in at $14.99, and that to me is a tremendous value considering what you're getting. Although not perfect, this is definitely recommended and definitely worth your money. So what do you think about this bad boy, the Envy 15? I like it a lot. I like the beefy processor it has in here, the Core i7-10750H. 6-core processor, performed really nicely. Pair that with that RTX 2060 with Max-Q design, and I think we have a winner. I like its upgradability, the fact that you can get inside this laptop very easily, and you can upgrade the RAM, and there are 2 slots for SSDs, so a lot of possibilities in terms of upgrades on this. 2 RAM slots, great for the user who likes upgradability down the road. Now, as far as the battery life, that was the Achilles heel of this, of course. Not great in terms of the battery life, a little bit more than 6 hours on my continuous web surfing test. And I think that, of course, is attributed to the fact that it does have a 4K AMOLED display. And speaking of the display, really nice, vibrant colors. It really covered the color gamut extremely well. So if you are that content creator that this is geared towards, you're definitely going to like it. Really nice brightness at over 400 nits. They claimed 400. I actually measured 405, which is even better. And I like that. Now, it is a glossy display, so you will have some glare and reflections when you're dealing with sunlight. So keep that in mind. The big negative here is that it does have two Thunderbolt 3 ports. That is crippled, in my opinion. It doesn't allow charging on this laptop. You'll have to use the 200-watt charger that was included in the box. It uses a barrel pin connector. The good news is it charges under 2 hours. In fact, I saw it more closer to an hour and a half. So pretty fast charging on this. So that's been pretty good. But I would have liked to have seen USB-C charging. Really a shame they disabled it on that. The other thing I wasn't happy about is the fake speaker grills on the top. Now, I don't know if they intended to put quad speakers on this initially and then changed their mind for whatever reason, maybe a space-saving measure, but I'm not really sure. But the two speakers that it does have are found on the bottom. They're okay. They sound pretty good. It's just they don't get loud enough, in my opinion. So that's something that I think we want to see in the next iteration. Perhaps they can move to the quad speakers to improve that situation. And at $14.99, I think it's a great price considering you're getting that 4K AMOLED display. You're getting that 10th generation Intel processor with that RTX 2060 Max-Q design GPU. And I think that is a great value. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.